The war raged across 1,000 worlds. Clone troopers died by the millions. Jedi generals led them into battle again and again. And Anakin Skywalker, hero of the Republic, the chosen one, carried a secret that burned inside him like a lightsaber wound. He couldn't do it anymore. The nightmares had returned. Visions of Padme dying in childbirth. Visions of fire and darkness. Anakin had seen what fear could do. He'd seen what secrets could become. And he made a choice. He would tell the truth. The council chambers were cold that morning. Master Yoda sat in his chair, ancient eyes watching. Mace Windu stood with arms crossed, his expression unreadable. Obi-Wan Kenobi tilted his head, sensing something wrong in his former Padawan. The others, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Plo Koon, Shakti, waited in silence. Anakin stepped forward. "Masters," he began, his voice steady but quiet. "I have something to confess." The room seemed to hold its breath. "I'm married to Senator Padme Amidala. We were married 3 years ago on Naboo. And she's pregnant." Silence. Not the peaceful silence of meditation. The heavy, suffocating silence of shock. Mace Windu's jaw tightened. Obi-Wan closed his eyes, pain flashing across his face. Yoda's ears lowered, his clawed hand gripping his walking stick. "Violated the code. You have," Yoda said softly. "Attachment forbidden it is." "Known this, you did." "I did, Master," Anakin replied. "But I won't hide it anymore. I won't lie to the people I've fought beside. I won't let fear control me." Mace stepped forward, his voice hard. "You've broken your oath, Skywalker. The Jedi Order is built on discipline, on sacrifice. If we allow this, the entire Order collapses. Or maybe the Order is already broken." Anakin shot back. "We've become soldiers. We've forgotten what it means to care, to love. Isn't that what the Force is supposed to be about? Connection." Obi-Wan finally spoke, his voice pained. "Anakin, why didn't you come to me?" "Because I was afraid," Anakin admitted. "Afraid you'd cast me out. Afraid I'd lose everything." The council exchanged glances. Some looked angry. Others looked uncertain. Yoda closed his eyes. "Decide? We must," the Grand Master said. "But this simple it is not." And in the shadows of Coruscant, a Sith Lord smiled. The council had never been so fractured. For hours, they argued. Voices rose. Tempers flared. The Jedi Temple, usually a place of calm and order, felt like a war zone. Mace Windu stood firm. The code exists for a reason. Attachment leads to jealousy, to fear, to the dark side. We've seen it before. If we make an exception for Skywalker, we undermine everything the Jedi stand for. Ki-Adi-Mundi nodded in agreement. The Clone Wars have already stretched us thin. If word spreads that our most celebrated knight has broken his vows, it will shatter morale. The Republic needs the Jedi to be symbols of discipline. But Obi-Wan Kenobi stepped into the center of the circle. "Masters," he said, his voice calm but unyielding. "I've known Anakin since he was 9 years old. I trained him. I fought beside him. And I've watched him save this galaxy more times than I can count." He paused, meeting each council member's gaze. Yes, he broke the code. But he came here. He told the truth. He didn't run. He didn't hide. That takes courage. That takes strength. And if we cast him out now, we're not upholding the code. We're abandoning compassion. Yoda's ears twitched. "Compassion, say you. But attachment, dangerous it is. Clouded, Skywalker's judgment may become." "Perhaps," Obi-Wan admitted. "But his judgment has saved the Republic time and again. He's fought on the front lines. He's led men to victory. He's the chosen one, Master Yoda." The prophecy. Mace interrupted. "The prophecy is a relic. It doesn't excuse breaking our most fundamental rule." Plo Koon raised a hand. Yet, the boy did come forward. He could have hidden this indefinitely. Perhaps that honesty is worth something. Saktistai nodded slowly. "The galaxy is changing. The war has forced us to adapt. Maybe the Force is telling us something." The room fell silent. Anakin stood outside the chamber doors, waiting. His hands trembled. His future, his family's future, rested in the hands of the council. Inside, Yoda closed his eyes. "Vote, we must," he said quietly. "Expel Skywalker or grant mercy. Decide now, the council will." Hands rose, some for expulsion, some for mercy. The count was close, too close. And in the Chancellor's office, Palpatine watched through the Force and began to adjust his plans. The decision came down to a single vote. Obi-Wan's. His voice had swayed Plo Koon and Shaak Ti. Together, they tipped the balance. Anakin would not be expelled, but he would be punished. Mace Windu delivered the verdict. "Anakin Skywalker, you are hereby suspended from active duty. Your rank of Jedi Knight is revoked. You will remain in the temple under observation, and you will sever all contact with Senator Amidala until the council deems otherwise." Anakin's heart sank. "You're asking me to abandon my wife, my child. We're asking you to choose," Mace replied coldly. "The Jedi Order or your attachment." Obi-Wan placed a hand on Anakin's shoulder. "You'll have time, Anakin. Time to prove yourself. Time to find balance. This isn't the end." But it felt like the end. Anakin left the temple that night, his mind spinning. He didn't go to Padme's apartment. He couldn't. Not yet. He needed to think. He didn't notice the shadow watching him from across the Senate Plaza. In his private office, Palpatine's smile had vanished. For years, he'd manipulated Anakin Skywalker, fed his fears, nurtured his anger, promised him power. The boy was supposed to fall, supposed to become Darth Vader, the enforcer of the new empire. But now Anakin had confessed. The council had shown mercy. And worst of all, Skywalker hadn't come running to Palpatine for help. The Sith Lord's yellow eyes burned in the darkness. "No matter," he whispered. "If I cannot turn him, I will destroy him." Palpatine activated his hologram communicator. A blue image flickered to life. Commander Cody, standing at attention. "My lord, execute Order 66, Palpatine said calmly. Immediately. Cody hesitated. "Sir, the war isn't," I said immediately, Commander. "Yes, my lord." The hologram vanished. Palpatine leaned back in his chair, his twisted smile returning. He'd wanted Anakin Skywalker by his side. But if the boy chose the Jedi, then he would die with them. Across the galaxy, clone troopers received the signal. Order 66. The Jedi were traitors, and they had to be eliminated. But this time, Anakin Skywalker wasn't leading the purge. He was the target. Anakin stood before the council one last time. "I won't leave her," he said quietly. "I won't abandon my family." Mace Windu's expression hardened. "Then you leave us no choice. Anakin Skywalker, you are expelled from the Jedi Order. Effective immediately." The words hit like a blaster bolt. Obi-Wan stepped forward, pain etched on his face. "Anakin, please. Don't do this." "I'm sorry, Master," Anakin whispered. "But I have to choose love over duty this time." Yoda closed his eyes. "Lost, you may be, young Skywalker. But perhaps, found again, you will be. Go, and may the Force be with you." Anakin nodded once. He unclipped his lightsaber and placed it on the chamber floor. Then he turned and walked away. Padme was waiting outside the temple. She saw it in his eyes before he said a word. "They expelled you," she said softly. Anakin nodded. "I chose you. I chose us." Tears filled her eyes, but she smiled. "Then we leave. Tonight. We'll go to Naboo. Somewhere safe. Somewhere we can raise our child in peace." Anakin pulled her close. "I'm done with wars. Done with the Jedi. Done with all of it. From now on, it's just us." They kissed under the fading Coruscant sun. For a brief moment, everything felt right. But across the galaxy, the nightmare had already begun. On Mygeeto, Commander Bakara raised his blaster and fired. Master Kadimundi fell, cut down by his own troops. On Felucia, Aayla Secura turned just in time to see her clones open fire. She died in the mud, surrounded by betrayal. On Cato Neimoidia, Plo Koon's starfighter exploded in midair, shot down by his wingmen. On Kashyyyk, Master Yoda felt the disturbance in the Force, a wave of death, sudden and overwhelming. He ignited his lightsaber and cut down the two clones behind him before they could fire. Betrayed, the Jedi have been, Yoda whispered. Begun, the purge has. In the Jedi temple on Coruscant, clone troopers stormed the halls. Younglings screamed. Masters fought back. Lightsabers clashed against blaster fire. But there was no Darth Vader leading the assault. And in the chaos, one question burned through the Force. Where was Anakin Skywalker? The galaxy screamed. Anakin felt it. A wave of death crashing through the Force. Thousands of lights snuffed out in an instant. Jedi, his brothers and sisters, dying. He collapsed to his knees in the passenger hold of the transport. Padme rushed to his side. Anakin, what's wrong? They're dying, he gasped. All of them. The Jedi, they're being killed. Padme's face went pale. By who? Anakin's eyes widened in horror. The clones. On Coruscant, the Jedi temple burned. Clone troopers marched through the sacred halls, executing anyone they found. Masters, knights, Padawans, even younglings. But without Anakin Skywalker, without Darth Vader, the assault faltered. Mace Windu fought like a whirlwind, his purple blade cutting through clone after clone. He rallied the temple guard, forming a defensive line. Shakti led the younglings to the escape tunnels, her lightsaber flashing in the smoke-filled corridors. And when the clones tried to breach the council chambers, they found Obi-Wan Kenobi waiting. I'm sorry, Obi-Wan said quietly, deflecting blaster bolts. But you're not taking this temple. He fought with precision, with sorrow. These were men he commanded, men he'd trusted, but they weren't men anymore. They were weapons. Yoda arrived moments later, flipping through the air, his lightsaber a green blur. Together, he and Obi-Wan held the line. Survive, some of us will, Yoda said grimly. But lost, the order is. In the Senate building, Palpatine stood before the gathered senators. The Jedi have attempted a coup, he announced, his voice dripping with false sorrow. They tried to assassinate me, to seize control of the Republic. But the brave clone troopers have stopped them. Applause. Cheers. Padme, watching from a hidden viewport on the transport, felt sick. He planned this, she whispered. Palpatine. He's been planning this the whole time. Anakin's hands clenched into fists. I was supposed to help him. He wanted me to be his weapon, to kill the Jedi. But you're not, Padme said firmly. You're here, with me. Anakin looked at her, his blue eyes filled with pain and fury. I have to stop him. Not now, Padme pleaded. We have to survive first. We have to protect our baby. Anakin nodded slowly. But as the transport jumped to hyperspace, one thing was clear. This wasn't over. Naboo was peaceful. Too peaceful. Anakin stood on the balcony of Padme's lake retreat, watching the sun set over the water. It should have felt like home, like safety, but he could still feel them. The Jedi who died, the brothers and sisters he'd failed to save. You couldn't have stopped it, Padme said softly, stepping beside him. Her hand rested on her growing belly. I should have seen it coming, Anakin replied. Palpatine played me for years. He used my fear, my anger, and I almost, but you didn't, Padme interrupted. You chose differently. You chose us. Anakin turned to her, his expression pained. And now the galaxy is burning. Across the stars, the galactic empire rose. Palpatine declared himself emperor. The Senate applauded. The clones, now stormtroopers, enforced order with ruthless efficiency. And the Jedi were declared traitors, hunted to extinction. But not all of them had died. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda had escaped. So had Ahsoka Tano, Anakin's former Padawan. A handful of others, scattered, broken, but alive. And they all felt it. A presence in the Force. Bright, powerful, uncorrupted. Anakin Skywalker. Obi-Wan sent a coded message through Old Republic channels. Anakin, if you're out there, we need you. The Jedi need you. The galaxy needs you. Anakin received the message late one night. He stared at the hologram of his old master, his heart torn. I'm not a Jedi anymore, he whispered to the empty room. But Padme found him there, his head in his hands. What did Obi-Wan say? He want me to fight, to help rebuild. And what do you want? Anakin looked up at her. I want to keep you safe. I want to be a father. I want to live a normal life. Padme knelt beside him. I want that too. But Anakin, the Empire will never stop looking for you. Palpatine will never forgive your betrayal. If we want our child to grow up in a free galaxy, we have to fight for it. Anakin closed his eyes. She was right. He couldn't hide forever. And on Coruscant, Palpatine sat on his throne, his yellow eyes burning. Find him, the Emperor hissed. Find Anakin Skywalker. Bring him to me, or kill him. The Inquisitors bowed. The hunt had begun. The moon of Taith was a forgotten place. No cities, no outposts, just jungle and ruins. Perfect for hiding. Obi-Wan Kenobi stood at the entrance to an ancient temple, waiting. He felt Anakin's presence before he saw him. A small ship descended through the canopy, landing in the clearing. The ramp lowered, and Anakin Skywalker stepped out. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Obi-Wan smiled. Hello there. Anakin's lips twitched into a grin. General Kenobi. They embraced, brothers reunited. I thought I'd lost you, Obi-Wan said quietly. You almost did, Anakin admitted. But you chose differently. I know, and I'm proud of you. Inside the temple, the remnants of the Jedi Order had gathered. Yoda, Ahsoka Tano, Sak Distai, Mace Windu, injured but alive, Plo Koon, a dozen others. And now, Anakin Skywalker, the chosen one. Yoda studied Anakin with ancient eyes. Changed you have. Stronger, but troubled still. I'm not here to be a Jedi, Master, Anakin said. I'm here to stop Palpatine. Good enough. That is, Yoda replied. Mace Windu stepped forward, his expression cold. You broke the code, Skywalker. You walked away. And you expelled me, Anakin shot back. But we don't have time for old grudges. The Empire is hunting us. Palpatine won't stop until every Jedi is dead. So we fight. Together. Or we die apart. Mace stared at him for a long moment. Then he nodded. Agreed. Obi-Wan activated a hologram. A map of the galaxy. The Empire is consolidating power. Palpatine has Inquisitors hunting Force sensitives. Entire star systems are being subjugated. But there's hope. Bail Organa is organizing a resistance. Mon Mothma is rallying the Senate. And we, the Jedi, could be the spark that lights the fire. Ahsoka stepped forward. What's the plan, Master? Obi-Wan looked at Anakin. We make ourselves known. We strike at Imperial targets. We show the galaxy that the Jedi survive. And we remind them what we stand for. Anakin ignited his lightsaber. The blue blade hummed in the darkness. Then let's get to work. The Jedi's circle ignited their blades in response. A rainbow of light in the shadows. The rebellion had begun. The message came directly from Palpatine. Come to Coruscant, Skywalker. Face me, or I will burn every world you've ever loved. Anakin knew it was a trap. He went anyway. The Jedi Temple was a graveyard. Smoke still rose from the burned halls. Clone helmets littered the floors. The once sacred place was now a monument to betrayal. Anakin walked through the ruins, his lightsaber in hand. And at the center of the temple, in the council chambers, Palpatine waited. The Emperor smiled. Anakin, my boy, you finally come home. I'm not your boy, Anakin said coldly. And this was never my home. Palpatine's smile faded. I made you. I saw your potential when the Jedi refused to. I offered you everything, power, purpose, the strength to save those you love. You offered me lies, Anakin replied. You wanted me to be your weapon, to kill for you, to betray everything I believed in. Palpatine's eyes burned yellow. And yet, here you are, alone, weak. The Jedi cast you out. Your wife hides in fear. Your child will grow up in a galaxy I control. You've lost Anakin. No, Anakin said, igniting his lightsaber. I've chosen, and that's something you'll never understand. Palpatine's lightsaber hissed to life, a crimson blade, crackling with hatred. Then you will die, They clashed. The duel was brutal. Palpatine fought with centuries of Sith rage. Anakin fought with clarity, with purpose, with love. Every strike, every parry, every burst of Force energy, Anakin saw Padme's face. His unborn children, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, the Jedi who died believing in him. He wasn't fighting for power. He was fighting for them. And slowly, impossibly, he began to win. Palpatine stumbled. Anakin disarmed him. The Emperor's lightsaber clattered across the floor. "Do it," Palpatine hissed. "Strike me down. Give in to your anger." Anakin raised his blade. Then he lowered it. "No, you don't control me anymore." He reached out with the Force, not with hate, but with balance, and lifted Palpatine into the air. "The Jedi will return," Anakin said, "and you'll face justice." But Palpatine laughed, even as lightning crackled around him. "Fool, this is only the beginning." Anakin didn't flinch. He'd made his choice, and the prophecy, at last, began to unfold.